I'm always listening to new types of music. So I'm always kind of curious on what's going on inside of the underground, what's going on in the mainstream, what's going on in rock, what went on in rock 20 years ago, both from just a musical point of view and in terms of business model. How were people putting their stuff out 20 years ago that I can try to, I can apply right now. So always curious, persistent. We've been doing this thing for a long period of time. I mean, I'm 35 years old, so we've been doing this since we were about 18. So always be persistent and always try to be consistent. So those are probably the two biggest things. I study, I try to read. I try to read what's going on inside of the game. I try to read just philosophy, try to read Art of War. I try to read, just about strategy, about business strategy. So I always try to be studying. So I would say curious, persistent, study, and practice. Practice your skills. It's it is that you're doing, practice it like you're trying to do it for real. I think it's both. It's definitely oversaturation. I mean, you go on the internet now. I mean, even 10 years ago, there was only a few independent labels that had their websites up and doing stuff. Now it's hard to find who's doing what. Everybody's got a label, like you said. It's hard because of saturation, and it's quantity, but it's not quality right now. So that's the bad thing. The good thing is, though, it's competition. And anytime there's competition, if you want to rise to the top, you got to sharpen your game up. And so competition is always good. So that's the good thing about it. So I think it's a blessing and it's a curse. And people who are afraid of competition will see it as a negative thing. People who accept the competition is like, okay, we still better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? If that's your attitude, improve it. So have all these people competing for space. Now step your game up and show them why you should be recognized and they should be. Now I definitely think the quality, as far as most of the music that's out, the quality is not where it used to be. It used to be people rhyme for different reasons. It used to be you rhyme because you were a good MC, or you rhyme because you wanted to get props, but there was not a lot of money attached to it. So if you got on a stage and you weren't tight, you didn't really keep working at it unless you wanted to really be good, unless you wanted to be Rakim, essentially. Now people rhyme for the loot, and so even if I'm not good, I still keep doing it because I see that dollar sign. And so it's a different reason for doing it. And so that, whereas previously you would rhyme for respect, and so you had to get tight. Now you rhyme for loot, and you can get loot without being tight. And so people don't advance their skills. People don't advance a lot of things unless it's making them money. And a lot of times the things that are making money is not really making the culture better. It's not really advancing the culture in any way. It's not anything new. You can make money doing the same thing somebody else. You can make money by biting, whereas before you can't get respect by biting. And so before, people used to have to work on their skills in order to get respect. Now, if you rhyming for loot, you can just bite whatever was done before. And so that's why I think that a lot of stuff that comes out is just stale. And then when somebody does come out that's doing something really fresh, they stand out even more. I mean, like, that's why Jay-Z stands out, because he was actually tight, period. That's why Tupac stood out, because he was tight. So I think you get these artists that have come out one-hit wonders, but to build a career, you'll see who's actually tight over the course of a decade.